Hello, everybody. Coming at you live from, well, here. Trying to get everything looking good. Never know where to put this stand. There we go. Okay. Let me get this started here first off. And move on from there. And here we go. So this energy reading is going to be from October 16th or 15th. Give me a minute here. No, October 16th, okay? So October 16th energy reading. And we're going to see what we can find out here. I'm just lighting some incense and going from there. Okie doke. Got this torch here, getting things lit up. Let's really get it going. I need a new lighter though. Alright. This channel's become something where we just watch me struggle to light incense for a good 5 minutes, so hold on tight. How's everybody doing? Is everybody doing okay today? Hey NC, how you doing? Oh, the struggles. We're going to be focusing on doing some... Thank you, Denise. Appreciate that. All right, you know what? And I'm glad you're doing fine, NC. You know what? It's lit. It's as lit as it's going to be, and hopefully that works. So let me move this stuff over here, and then let's get our cards ready here. Again, we got the energy, we got the fountain, but we are probably going to be using these ones more so. So this is the Wild Unknown Tarot. I like this because it uses animal. Yes, it uses cannibal terminology to define what we're doing. It's one of those days. All right, so let's move this over. Let's go like this. We'll look at the energy for October 16th, and then after that we can go into some questions. Yeah, so let's get this started here. So, NC, if you're still here, I haven't seen you before. Are you new? New to the stream? Awesome. Well, I'm glad to have you. I am glad to have you here. So, generally what we do is I do a reading for the energy for tomorrow. That's when this video goes live. And then after that, you can ask questions if you guys are having questions. So it takes a little bit of time, but just kind of getting the energy out there and seeing what's out there. If I say out there one more time, I'll get a special prize. So yeah, that's what we're going for. Just shuffling these here. And then we got these cards here. Are you into tarot yourself, NC? Into reading cards or... Here we go. One more. Okay, so energy for today, or for tomorrow, October 16th, 2020. What energies do we have for the day? Okay, this is good. This is also good. I'll show you guys what it is. I won't keep you in suspense forever, I promise. Okay, Seven of Cups in reverse. And we get the Seven of Swords. So to me, this is good, but there could be something here where I feel like we're limited in choices or options, and I'll show you why. So we get the Sun card, okay? This is a really good card. To me, this is a card, this is a good day. This is like more positivity coming in. Really, really good card to have. I see the Broken Heart in reverse, which to me is healing from, I feel like healing from this week's heartbreak or healing from last week's heartbreak. Not necessarily relationship, but it can be anything. Just sort of a healing energy is what we're looking at here. But like as we're healing, I feel like we feel that choice is being hindered, okay? Because the Seven of Cups in reverse is all about choice. When I see that in reverse, it's hindering ourselves. But I get the Eight of Swords, and that just means that maybe we're being blinded by ourselves to the situation. Maybe there actually is something that we can do in the situation to feel much more at peace and at ease, right? And I'll draw another card here to look at that, but that's what I'm seeing so far. Let's draw another card here. Yeah, so then we get the Two of Cups in reverse. And when I see that card, especially with the Broken Heart in reverse, this is healing from connection, like healing from a relationship, healing from some sort of connection. I'm hearing the words promise. So healing from a promise. Healing, and when I say healing from a promise, I mean like healing from someone saying something that they wouldn't do and then they did it, or something happened where the promise was not able to be kept. Okay, I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but that's what I'm feeling right here. Also, Leo is coming into mind as well, the astrological sign Leo. So that's what I'm feeling so far for October of 2020, October 16th of 2020. So I'm going to shuffle these cards again. We're going to look into some other aspects here. But this one felt like more of a love kind of reading. At first, it felt like it felt a little more spiritual, but then at the end there, it sort of pulled out into being more of a love reading. So let's keep looking here. Shuffle these cards. Let's go like this here. And let's do one more. Okay, let's do this. Oh, pulled my neck out earlier today, so if it seems like I'm looking at you guys kind of weird, but I've got some Bengay on there. It's feeling good. Got that nice minty feeling on my back. It actually feels pretty good. Okay. One more shuffle. Okay, that was a really bad shuffle. So let's do one more. Let's have this be a really good one. There we go. All right, another facet of the day here. Okay. That's crazy to me. Okay, so we mentioned the Leo, right? So that's what I'm seeing here. Father of Wands. This is the King of Wands in any other tarot deck. This deck takes the liberty to do things a little bit differently. So Father of Wands, you're seeing a snake and it's like protecting this stick. You're seeing the energy right here coming in. That to me denotes that there's a lot of energy here. There's this snake, it's standing up, it's protecting itself, it's doing what it needs to do. And in this position, it feels to me like this is a person who has a lot of energy, has a lot of charisma. I feel like that kind of person. Interestingly enough, though, I get the Broken Heart in reverse, but at this time it's with the Three of Swords instead of with the actual card that says Broken Heart on it. So this one is interesting. And then I get this card, Man Holding a Heart, okay? And then I get Archangel, First Chakra Archangel Michael. Hi, Quantum Love, how you doing? So I get First Chakra Archangel Michael and the Man Holding a Heart. So again, and I don't know if this is for anybody else here, but it's Leo, it's feeling like it's Leo energy, Sagittarius or Aries energy, going into more of a relationship. And this is recovering from something. Again, it's a foundational thing. I feel like this is touching on the same thing we were reading last time. A promise was broken, and I'm feeling like we're healing from that kind of energy, right? I'm doing good. I'm alive. Not so much kicking, but definitely alive. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. Again, I'm going to shuffle. It seems like the cards really want to make this known. This energy, just like quantum love came in here, this energy is quantum. This energy is definitely something where people will watch it later and this will make sense to them. If it's not making sense to anybody now, this is for people that are watching it later. There we go, kicking bad energy away. That's how it has to be sometimes. Oh. Okay, let's start with that. Card came out before I did the shuffling, and I'm feeling like spirits here. I'm getting a dizziness feeling. Getting a name that starts with a D, coming in really strong. Name that starts with a D, like D-I-A-M, or D, maybe Diamond. I'm not sure. I'm getting something, a name or more into that. That felt like it was psychic, though. I didn't feel like it was from a spirit necessarily, but I did feel like I was getting a name, a different name, a unique name. Okay. All right, let's shuffle these. Okay. And we'll shuffle these ones again. And there we go. Okay. So our first card leading off this energy here, I'm getting this. This is the Three of Wands in so it's the Three of Wands in reverse. And then I get the Chariot card also in reverse. And when I look at these two cards, this is talking about building something out. So I feel like this is maybe learning something new, studying something. But I'm getting a distinct impression that we're building something, and where I see the Three of Wands in reverse, it's not building it together anymore. I feel like we're doing something more solo oriented now, and I feel like this is into the more of the prosperity, like financial part of this reading, maybe in a spiritual evolution way. But the way I feel it is like we're going at this alone right now, and it can feel a little difficult. And there could also be a Cancer possibly in our lives that's being obstinate or stubborn at this point in time, because when I see the Chariot in reverse, that's either energy that has stopped moving. It's like a lot of energy I feel like that has stopped moving very quickly. It's like just a sudden halt. Or again, it can be that Cancer energy, like a closed off kind of water sign energy. So that's what I'm seeing here. I'll draw some energy cards here. But this is definitely feeling like we're looking at building something alone. And being alone, how does that go? Being by yourself doesn't make you lonely, right? It's sometimes that's what we need to do to recharge, so that's not a bad thing. We live in a society where I feel like we're fiercely codependent on each other, and sometimes it's good to like let the other person be, you know, let ourselves kind of be alone for a minute to recharge. I know I need recharging time. I love my alone time, so okay. Let's do this. Shuffle it on out. Okay. And we're going to do Angel of Strength, Door to Value. Okay. So, Angel of Strength, Door to Value. This is definitely building up an energy. This is building up ourselves. This to me, now I feel like it's definitely more of a financial reading with this. Because sometimes when I'm doing these readings, it's like I'm letting the cards guide. There you go, Quantum Love. So this right here, I get the Angel of Strength, the door to value. That to me is definitely something where we're looking at building something more alone. And like I said, business oriented or education oriented, maybe doing something alone that we felt like we would be doing with a partner or something. But I feel like we're finally going out and we're going for it anyway. So this is putting caution to the wind and just allowing ourselves to live and exist and do what we want to do, even if someone else isn't there, or even if we don't have the permission of someone else to be there. We're just allowing ourselves to finally do something. And that's good. That's a really good feeling. The Angel of Strength comes in to say, you got this. And the door to value says that, again, you've got this. Right away from you, just barely out of sight, there is a huge, huge opportunity. So that's what I'm seeing this as. So this is really good. Obviously, this is incredible. It's like a generosity space or a prosperity space. It feels like we're starting to have that energy come in that we can put out into the world. We're focused more on letting ourselves shine and not letting other people tell us that it's not okay, right? We're like a torch okay, let me put it this way. We're like the sun. We rise and we're putting our light out there. And some people don't like the sun. Some people say that's not for me. But the sun doesn't say, oh, shoot, I got to stop shining because one person was complaining. No, the sun does its thing. And flowers are the same way. Flowers will bloom next to each other. They're not intimidated by the beauty of the other flowers. They allow themselves to bloom and to be seen because they know that that's what they're there for. They're there to be seen. They're there to be beautiful. And they don't look at others or try to, compare themselves. Hopefully that made sense. Okay, so do this here. Thank you, NC. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, it is all about self-love at the end of the day, and I talk about that constantly on my channel because what I want to do moving forward is I want to do mediumship. I want to do psychic readings. I want to do things that are more in that sphere, right? And thank you, Quantum. And to me, self-love and gentle healing is the only way that stuff can exist. If we don't have the atmosphere to create for that, then it makes it so the rest of our lives feel like something's missing. And there's something kind of gnawing at the back of our minds saying, you know what, we could really do some healing, some work right now. We could really do something good for ourselves. We have a Halloween decoration outside and it just jumped into the window and I thought there was a giant bird. Oh, okay. Anyway, so that aside, that's what I'm seeing, you guys. Own up to that energy. Okay. So now, if you guys want, we can move into the question part. There's any questions? Okay, so NC, here's what I do. I address the situation. Ooh, Quantum, you'll have to keep an eye on it. So NC, what I usually do is I look at it a little bit, but if we want to get more information, then we have like a super chat and you can donate, and then I can do a little bit more of a reading, or you can go to my website and you can get a private reading that way. But that's usually how I do it. So just so you're aware, we can touch on it a little bit, but to get all the information that we want to get, I do require a little donation, so hopefully that's okay with you. I wish I could do this for free. Okay, all right. But even psychics got to eat, right? Okay. Let me shuffle again here. Let's see what we can do. One more shuffle here. Okay, so there's All right, so here are the cards I got, and I'll read them the same way I pulled them out. So let me move these over. I get the Angel of Balance in reverse, and then I get second chakra Archangel Ariel in reverse as well. So to me, I feel like was this split something that they wanted to do or something that you wanted to do? Who initiated the splitting, right? Because you said reuniting, so. Oh, you live in different states for now. Okay. Was there any so was it a situation where like you wanted to stay where you're at and do what you want to do and they wanted to stay where they are, or did they move because of a job opportunity or family or anything like that? I'm curious what split you guys up is what I'm trying to get to. And then I can show you the rest of the cards here. Opportunity for him. Okay, I was feeling like it was something like that, like an opportunity, because and so right now it's like would you say it's a long distance relationship then? Do you guys still keep in touch? Um, like Facebook or texting or anything like that? Okay. Okay. Um, so who would be are they a younger air sign, possibly? I get the Daughter of Swords in reverse. I'm wondering if that's dealing with a younger air sign, but I'm not sure, so that's why I'm asking. So Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Fire. Okay. Okay, so that makes sense. All right. So what I see here is that there's a sense of them finally being able to move into something that's more comfortable, like you said, an opportunity for them, right? So I see that as a good thing. The like I said, I get the hi Petra, how you doing? The Daughter of Swords in reverse, though, to me, this is feeling like maybe they left because intellectually or in a job situation they felt like they weren't being challenged enough. I don't know if the person's an engineer or uses their mind. I'm not sure if that's what's going on here, but was it something like that? They felt like they could just go somewhere and kind of work in a more. I'm trying to figure out how to put that, but I'm getting something where they felt like they weren't being challenged, and that's why they moved, if that makes sense. And I feel like it's more of a job or more of an opportunity, like you were saying. Okay. So I will draw one more card here to see what will happen when you reunite. I'll read that. If you want to dive deeper, you can donate to the super chat. You can do that, or you can go to my website and donate that way. Otherwise, I'll just keep doing the other readings too. I don't want to take too much time. If you know. So here's what I'm getting here. You're very very welcome. Here's what I'm getting here is that I feel like this time apart is really good for you guys to grow in a sense of like learning to appreciate each other more from a distance, right? I can't remember how the saying goes. Oh, distance makes the heart grow fonder. So when I see appreciation, this card right here, it's appreciation in reverse. I feel like this is good for you guys to have this space to kind of look at where your lives are at, right? When we don't have another person that's with us all the time, there can be a sense of growing and kind of seeing what's happening in our own lives instead of being in a couple, if that makes sense. So I feel like right now this is really good. What will happen when you reunite? Um, right here it's looking like it's going to be pretty good, but I feel like there will be maybe some different viewpoints, um, because I get a feeling. So when you say reunite, is this job or this opportunity temporary? Is it a temporary thing, or will you go to live with them, or are they coming back to be in your state? I'm just curious how that's going to go. Back to your state. Okay. So again, it's looking like things are okay for now. I feel like the distance is helping right now. I don't know how long they've been away for, but it feels to me like the distance right now is things feel manageable. I would say the best thing to do though is if they're in the new situation, if it seems like things are starting to, I guess, pick up, they're starting to get more busy or whatever, give them space, give them time to do their thing, which I'm sure you do. But that's what I'm seeing here. So it, it seems like it would be okay. I feel like it's going to be work when you guys come back together, but I don't necessarily see it being a bad thing. I just feel like there's going to be some little differences, right? Some little differences, some things to talk about, and hopefully there can be communication and trust being built back up. So, yeah, hopefully that helps to answer some questions. And you are very welcome. Very welcome indeed. Okay, I'm going to shuffle these cards here again. Do this here. Okay. All right. Let me shuffle here. We'll do some more energy readings. I'll see what I can pick up on. Yeah, it does help. I wish I could do this for, and I've done my fair share of like free readings and stuff like that. And now I'm just in a place where I don't want to do that anymore because I feel like it's dishonoring my gift and my presence and my energy that I'm bringing to the situation. So if I seem like I'm more aggressive, asking for tips and asking for donations, it's because I genuinely feel like I'm okay to ask for that at this point in my life. I've been so scared to ask people in the past, and yet I'm putting my time in just like anyone else. So that's why if I seem a little more aggressive with it, that's why. Still want to help people, still want to be there, but it's like, where do you draw the line from helping someone else but not helping yourself? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just give and not get anything in return. So okay, let's shuffle these energy cards here. Let's do 2 more shuffles here for these energy cards. And there we go. Let's see what else is going on. So what's going on in the energy for tomorrow, which is October 16th, 2020? What are things we need to know? So this is good. We've got well, I wish I could get your, there we go. In your opinion, I think you can do whatever you would want to do. I think you just need to fine tune the energy if that's what's going on. To me, if anyone's telling me what I should or shouldn't be doing, I honestly feel like that comes from a place of someone not knowing exactly what to do. Like, I feel like anyone, if they put the time and the effort in, can do Reiki or mediumship or whatever. I don't feel like the energy's too strong, and that you should pursue that. I feel like you should do whatever you feel like you should do, right? A teacher should never, and I'm not saying they were, but I feel like there should never be any discouraging or any kind of guiding like that. Your energy is this, so you should do this. That's your choice. Um, I feel like energy can be strong, yeah, but I don't feel like it should ever dissuade you from doing anything else, if that makes sense, Denise. Mediumship and channeling and all of that, the energy healing, the Reiki, whatever it happens to be, whatever title. Yeah, so keep on doing what you're wanting to do. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, because that's not what this is about. For instance, if I'm working with someone, I don't care, like let's say they're paying for private classes for me. I don't care if they are week 1 or week 100 on working with me. As long as they're getting something out of it and as long as they feel supported in what they're doing, that's what's important. And I would never say, "Oh no, you should do this," or "You have to do this," because to me, that's a teacher putting their limited viewpoint on you. They're kind of casting it down on you. They're like, well, it was this way for me, so I'm going to do it for you. I want to break that stigma moving forward, where we're building a loving environment, and we can do anything we want to do as long as we set our mind to it. Are there ways we can refine the process of connection or energy healing? Of course there are, but who is anybody to tell us to stick in one direction or to go here or to go there? So I'm a little passionate about that, because I have heard stories where people were just the teachers were just not conducive to a proper learning environment for the students. So yeah. So and then I get this here. So I get the Magician and the Mirror in reverse, and I get Anxiety in reverse. Okay. And this energy here to me is, I feel like I'm glad you appreciate my opinion. And I appreciate the questions too. That you trust me enough with the questions is very important. Um, and that's something that only comes with time. I want you guys to trust me. I want you to trust what I'm saying. Yes, there we go. Yep. You're the only owners of your. Yep. I agree with that, Petra. And so I appreciate you guys giving the questions, and just let me put it this way. I appreciate when there's this ability to want to learn something, right? Putting ourselves in a position of learning can sometimes be difficult, and I feel like the only way we evolve as souls is to put ourselves in that learning environment. Otherwise, we think we know everything, and we miss out on huge opportunities to grow as people. So, yeah. So let me draw a couple tarot cards too. Now I can read this. I can literally read this from the exact perspective that Denise is talking about, and I'll show you what I mean. Magician in the Mirror in reverse. This is taking our energy and seeing what we're manifesting from it. I get Anxiety in reverse, and to me, this is worrying about things. In my mind, I feel like this is worrying about things that have already happened. So that's what I'm feeling here. Then I also get the 7 of Swords in reverse, which is mental energy, stealing our ability to kind of allow ourselves into the present moment. I feel like we're stealing ourselves away. We're trying to occupy our time. We're kind of like anxiously fiddling with this energy and trying to wonder what we can do with it. But then I get the Hierophant in reverse, and this is about doing things your own way, because the Hierophant upright is traditional, and it's about going after things your own way. When I see it in reverse, it's about doing things the way you want to do it, and kind of like others be damned sort of an energy, where it's like, I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to move forward within the path I want to take. I'm not going to let other people tell me what to do, right? So again, obviously I'm a little biased because I got charged up from that, but that is definitely how I would read these cards. We're focusing on self-empowerment, and self-empowerment starts by empowering the self. It starts by focusing on our own vision of ourselves as spiritual beings, and no one else can see the same way we can. So, um, and that takes time. And I understand there's people that have to build trust in themselves moving forward in the psychic realm. we want to build trust in ourselves. We want to make sure what we're doing is right and we're not just imagining it. So, and there's a lot of ways that we can work on that moving forward. But genuinely speaking, we practice it, we get better at it, right? It's an ability, it's a muscle. And no one else can tell us, to me, no one else can tell me otherwise. It's just something that we practice it, we get better at it. Simple as that. And if we don't practice it, it's still there. That's the funny part. I was building up my mediumship for about a year, right? And then I took a break. I took a break for about 6 months or so, or maybe even a year, I can't remember. But I took a break, and then right when I started doing it again and wanting to develop again, immediately picked it back up right where I left off. Like there wasn't I didn't have to build it back up. It's like you build yourself up, and Spirit knows that you're probably going to take a break at some point because it can be difficult work. It can be hard work. The medium's job is to never quit improving, to never quit, striving for evolution. That's what a medium is. And you're constantly challenging boundaries and yourself and working on your own inner world and your emotions and your mental capacity and, your own symbolic language. So, yeah, that was a rant from me, but hopefully you guys appreciated that. Okay. Let's see what we can pick up here. Just energetically. So hold on. First thing I'm feeling like there was a trip planned. I'm getting the feeling of like a big city, a trip being planned, something happening, and then things falling through. That's kind of the first thing that I'm feeling. Like there was a sense of getting ready to do something, really excited to do something, and then things just kind of fell through. And I felt like it had to do with a big city or it had to do with a bigger environment. Hopefully that makes sense. If it's not for you guys watching this, then hopefully someone out there can get this message. I feel like there will be another opportunity in the future, not too long from now. I'm feeling like a week to 2 weeks, so things won't be delayed by too long. But that's something that I'm getting here. Also feeling like I'm getting something with my spine. I'm feeling like there's a zipper going up my spine. Possibly there's been spinal surgery. There's been something going on with it feels like the spine or the back of the person. And this to me feels more literal. Again, just throwing out the messages that I'm getting here, but it does feel like I'm recovering from back surgery, or I'm recovering from a back injury, but it felt like there needed to be surgery or something with the spine. And I get the zipper as my symbology because when I was a little kid, had an appendix scar that I called my zipper. Right, I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I had to get my appendix out, and so I have a scar. And when I was a little kid, I called it my zipper. And yeah, so that's where I feel like the terminology for that comes from. And every psychic builds up their own symbolic library differently, but just letting you know on that one. So let's see. It feels like I'm getting a lot of things with like, I want to say like bones or like things. This time I feel like there's something with the hands. I feel like I'm a musician. I feel like I'm playing an instrument, but my hands are just kind of slowed down now. It could be old age, it could be arthritis, but I feel like I'm trying to do that. Yeah, me and my zipper. um, that's something I'm feeling too, and I feel like that's going to be a life lesson for people out there that are learning how to. I feel like are learning how to live again after an injury or after a sense of feeling damaged, quote unquote. I feel like this is definitely a recovery time, but this time more in a physical sense, not necessarily emotionally, but physically recovering from surgeries or physically recovering from a sickness of some kind. So that's what I'm feeling there. But that's good. At least it's a feeling of an energy recovery. I feel like there's frustration in the recovery because we have to kind of encounter our own mortality. But that's what I'm feeling there for sure. So, okay, let's see what else we can get here. So I'm getting the feeling of, it's going to sound really weird, um, being propelled forward by, and this could be a spiritual evolution symptom, I'm not sure. It feels very strange. But it's like being propelled forward inside of a, man, how would I even describe this? I feel like right now we're very armored as a society, as people. And I feel like in the future, maybe in the like 2021, 2022, 2023, I feel like our armor around ourselves is going to start to dissolve more and more. And I feel like because of that, we're going to be going into a very different kind of world. It's going to seem very, very, um, the best word I can think of is different, because I wouldn't call it bad or negative. It's like coming to realizations, but as a society instead of it more individually, right? So um, I actually feel like 2020 was the start of it. And for the next few years, we're going to be dealing with that energy. And then I feel like it's going to escalate even more so. But I feel like there's a lot of realizations that are going to be coming through. And that's beautiful. That's something we need a lot more of now than ever. Because those realizations provide truth and love and a foundation for us to grow to be better people. Let me look here. Is there any more questions or anything going on that way? If not, I'll just continue to shuffle. Thumbs up to you too, Petra. Let's shuffle these other cards. Okay. Okay. All right. No questions, just listening. You're very welcome, Petra. All right, Spirit Source, what do we need to know coming up for us in the future? So this was for October 16th, but moving into the energy of the week, next week, Monday of next week, what do we need to know? What kind of energies will be coming up? Okay. Okay. Here's 50 on here. All right, so what I'm getting here, you guys, is I get the Hermit in reverse. Then I get the Two of Pentacles and the Son of Pentacles in reverse. So this one to me is very much, I feel like we're going out, we're trying to look for a job, we're finding things, but I feel like we're sort of staying away from looking at the self more. I feel like there's a sense of going out, trying to find another job or trying to find something that we can do to make money. But I feel like we're just looking at it in a sense of making money, not in the sense of having fun with it, right? So there's like a sense of, I just got to do what I have to do instead of doing what you would want to do, right? So that's what I'm feeling here. And I feel like that's absolutely a possibility because I get the Magician in the mirror. This is manifesting what we want to see in front of us. This is taking the energy and turning it into something where we want to see what is in front of us. What's in the mirror? What can we imagine ourselves having? What can we focus on being new for ourselves, right? Because then I get 7th chakra Archangel Uriel right here, and that's the cosmic connection. So as long as we move forward, this is an interesting thing here. As long as we move forward looking for employment or financial investments, whatever it happens to be, and we're very open about it, and we stay connected, we stay open to the possibility of something coming up, I feel like things will happen. I feel like flowing will happen. However, I do also feel like, oh, thank you. Yeah, this is the, this one right here. This is called the Wild Unknown Tarot. And this is a really good deck. I really love this, and it comes in a nice box that's in another box, and I think that box came in another box. So it's boxception going on here, but really good cards. I love these cards. And because they're animals too, it makes it so it's easier for me to read. For instance, the butterfly here. There's several ways to read this. You can read it as being a financial situation that could be very fragile, like butterfly wings, right? You could also read this as being interconnected to something, so maybe there's two choices that can be made, maybe a choice with a partner, possibly. But I just love the symbology of the cards because they're animals, and animals are already walking symbols, right? For instance, you would look at a person and without knowing anything about them, you would think, oh, they're just a person, but animals already have a language of their own. The spider is viewed as being patient and a hard worker and waiting for things to come to it instead of it going out and grabbing things, right? The turtle is viewed like the hermit card. That's what this card is. It's a turtle going in its shell, and it's got a little light on its back, right? So all of these are really good. But so when the hermit card's like this, the turtle is going into his shell, and he's going in there to look. He's going in there to find things out about himself. He's going in there into like his inner emotional world to find things out about himself, right? But when it's in reverse, the turtle instead is going in to escape from a predator, or it's going in to escape from life. It's not necessarily going in to look for something, it's going in to escape. It's going into its own mind to escape. This could be anxiety, this could be, a lot of those kinds of things. But that's why I like these cards, right? And then you have the Son of Pentacles here. This is in reverse, and this is a deer, if you can tell, or a young buck, I guess is what you would call it. And this is focusing on, especially when I see this in reverse, I feel like we're focusing on looking at things in a non-financially mature way, would be the way I would look at that. And the deer would represent vitality, virility, a sense of, I feel like to me it is that vitality, right? And deers are a little more interesting. They're more elusive, right? Like you try to walk up to one, they're gonna run away, but they have a presence with them. They have this sort of energy about them that's like they're connected to the land. There's an appreciation for nature when you look at the deer. They're majestic. They're inspiring. Not so much like a turtle or a butterfly. They're more. It's like they are there, and a tiny whisper on the wind would scare them away. But the fact that you can look at them for a minute and you can appreciate their beauty, I think that's what's cool. So when I see that, the Son of Pentacles in reverse, to me, making a job choice or situation, yeah, the snake in the kitchen, that's Thank you so much, Petra. I appreciate that. They are. I feel like I'm getting a pretty good knack for the cards. The Fountain Tarot is good too. I've shown you this one many, many times. You can't see it till it's in person. These cards are very gorgeous. When I show you the cards, the way the light bounces off of them, that's not how they really look, right? Like these cards I'm showing you are more black and white. They're not as colorful. That is pretty much how they look. But these cards here, a lot of the colors when I'm showing them, they look kind of washed out. If you have these in person, very very beautiful cards too. And thank you, Denise. Um, yeah, I just love working with these cards. So be on the lookout for a situation where we could have something kind of big financially come in for us next week. And it feels like it's not going to be our usual kind of situation. If we force it into something, yeah, it'll be something that we usually would do to maybe make a little extra money or do whatever. But I feel like if we look at it differently, I feel like if we focus on the way the energy is coming in a little bit differently, we can turn this into us making money in the long term or making investments in the long term and actually having a start toward some some form of financial freedom in that way. So looks like next week's going to be focusing more on work, so that's what I'm feeling there. Okay. So Denise, are you looking to what would be the way to describe it? Are you looking to advance your spiritual practice, your mediumship, your energy healing, or whatever it is you're trying to do? Because we've talked about it a little bit on here. I'm just curious where you're at. I see. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. The finance part's kind of the difficult part, and I can understand that. So when you're ready for that to take that step, I mean, I'm sure you'll let me know. But depending on what we do, like I'll let you in on the first part of what we would do. Um, I would be talking with you. It would be more one on one, and then from there we focus on developing kind of however we feel like you would be the strongest to develop in, right? Like in my opinion, when we're doing psychic work, when we're doing mediumship, psychic work, whatever it happens to be, I feel like we want to develop the gifts that are a little stronger for us to work with first, and then we can work on the ones that aren't as strong and sort of build them up to a high level as well. Until we do that, though, it makes it kind of difficult to understand where the messages are coming from or what exactly they are. We need to build up a repertoire for information to come in. In my honest opinion, the sixth sense, right? The intuition, the whatever you'd want to call it, I feel like it literally is a combination of all other senses, but then it's amplified psychically. So you taste, you hear, you smell things from the spirit world. And that to me is because that sixth sense incorporates all the other ones. It's kind of like how the seventh chakra sort of is only there because all the other chakras are there, if that makes sense. Like the seventh chakra is a culmination of all the other chakras, the white light being cast out like a prism and making all the other chakra colors, if that makes sense. Of course, that's my theory, that's my take on it, but yeah, that's sort of where I'm at. But that's something we can definitely work on in the future when you feel like you can do that. So Any other questions here? It looks like we got a new person watching. Oh, never mind. People come, people go. Let me see if I can bring through any channeled information. I look forward to working with you too, Denise. When the time's right. There's no rush. I'm not going anywhere. And if there's any teacher out there that's trying to rush you, really, really think about, not doing it. The rushing thing I never quite understood. Because there's time. I don't think I'm gonna be dying anytime soon, so there's no rush. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can bring through some channeled messages here, and we can go from there. So sit back, relax, and let's do this. Okay. I feel like I'm getting the impression of, I see scissors like cutting hair, a new haircut, but to me it's symbolizing more of a transformation of the self. So that's really good. And I always see that in movies and stuff as well. Whenever the main character gets a haircut, that's always a sign of transformation that's going to be happening in the show or the movie. Let me keep thinking here. Keep looking. And I feel like we're looking at moving forward with the sense of, again, I keep seeing this. Ah, okay. Okay. Well, there you go. That makes sense. Are you feeling a sense of, okay, is there an injury on the hand here or here? Or, and that could be symbolic for me too. I'm just curious. But I'm feeling like there's something going on with the hand, and I feel like we're blocking something from happening with our hands. I feel like there's something where we're blocking. Okay, so there is. All right, that makes sense. It's weird because I almost felt myself holding something, like I was trying to defend something, and then I blocked something with my hand or something happened, but I'm not sure what that means. To me, it felt like opportunity. It felt very strange. I'm trying to understand where that energy is coming from, or at least the gist of it, so that I can give a better message here. But some messages are not for me to understand. Would it make sense to say that the hand, right, the possible injury on the hand, was caused by, I mean, did someone hit you? Maybe it was in a playful way, maybe something happened, or maybe you just injured yourself, but I feel like I'm blocking something with this hand injury, or something's happening. I'm trying to tune more into that. Thank you, Petra. Illness, okay. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so the illness is blocking us from something. Do you ever say that? Do you ever feel like the illness is stopping you from going after what you want to do? Or just pain in general? Okay. That's where that makes sense. Because I was getting a sense of, it was like a warrior kind of energy. And then I get a feeling of my hand being hit and pushed down, and then I'm kind of done. I'm kind of like, uh-oh. Kind of an energy where if it flares up, it's hard for me to move forward. It puts a damper on things, so to speak. Need to get me a new lighter. You guys get to see this, right? Beautiful incense stick. Lavender, I believe. And then we light this bad boy up. We get it nice and warm. Awesome. I'm glad I was spot on. A lot of times these messages come in and they don't make sense at first. The key is, and you're going to hear no a lot, okay? But the key is when you get a message, give it. Even if it's weird. Even if you feel like you have to sugarcoat it a little bit. In a way like, I know this sounds strange, but, you know, if it makes you feel better. Yes, this one is not wanting to work. Oh, maybe. Oh. Well, you guys stay right there, okay? Just relax, talk amongst yourselves if you want to. I will be back. I think this is lit, but it's kind of looking like it's wanting to fizzle out, so I'll be back in just a second. No, maybe that'll work. Let's just try it like that. Okay. Okay. Seems like it's working okay right now. There's enough of a smoke going on here. So I'll close my eyes again, kind of tune into the energies a little bit more. Oh. I just made an ash of myself. No, ashes did go everywhere though, just so you know. Blue on it, ashes went everywhere. Okay, so oddly enough, I'm getting very first thing I saw when I closed my eyes that time. I'm feeling like I'm looking into. No, it's okay. It's okay. I look like I'm looking, or I feel like I'm looking into religious texts now. I feel like I'm starting to look more into religious texts. I'm starting to look more into. I feel like I'm going back and I'm looking for answers, and I'm looking through ancient religious texts, or I'm looking through religious texts to try and find answers or bits of truth. Okay, and I feel like that's something that I'm seeing. Don't know if that resonates with anybody. Nice to see you. I remember you, I think it was last week. But yeah, I feel like I'm learning from those old religious texts or old religious doctrines of some sort, trying to find truth. So I don't know if that resonates, but that's what I'm seeing there. Oh, okay. There you go. Well, that would have been helpful. The only problem is this ran out of fuel. Like that. So it was just producing a really weak flame, but I should have done that. Definitely should have done that. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate the donation. Thank you. Do you have a question? No, we can go from there, but I just really appreciate the donation. That was really cool. But yeah, that feeling of just wanting to learn for the sake of learning, like knowledge, just wanting to have knowledge for the sake of having it, trying to find truth, which is something I think every. Okay. Yes, please. Feeling very. Okay, so let's look at that. You feel you're buried and can't get up in relationships. Does that mean buried as in low energy, or buried as in like choosing the wrong relationships? Or I'm just curious where exactly that's coming from so that I can understand it a little better. Choosing the wrong ones. Okay. So here's something. I actually watched a video on this today. Thought it was really interesting. Mm. So it's like you're wanting to find the right person. You're wanting to find the right. Okay, so here's something that's interesting. I watched and I'll look at the cards too. Of course, you're paying me to be a tarot reader, to be a psychic reader for you. But if I can go into a story here, if that's okay, because it relates to the situation. So the way I see it is that okay. So the way I see it is that women nowadays are, and again, I watched a video on this. There is a lot of the patriarchy, right? The men's energy that has pushed women down to make them feel less than they actually are, right? Women are actually incredibly powerful, right? Very, very powerful. And the men have tried to suppress them as time goes on. And this has made it so that in a culture, women will grow up thinking that they're less than a man when they're not. And there's a sense of feeling a sense of inferiority in that regard, and there shouldn't be, right? Or like we have to have a man to be okay, or we have to have this person to be okay in our life. And a lot what happens in these relationships is the woman or the man. I mean, honestly, but more than likely, the woman goes out, she finds somebody, and she's not. How do I put this? She's kind of settling in a way for someone that won't work in the long run because there's like a script that's set up. It's like programming that tells us that if we go after someone who's like emotionally unavailable, that probably means that they love us more. They're just not showing it. And because they're not showing it, we keep trying harder and harder to try and get that from them, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's anything to do with you. If not, I can just go straight into the cards and do it that way. But um, I can actually link you a video you can watch after this that goes into more detail on that I thought was really good. Um, totally makes sense. Okay. All right, so I can keep going then because these issues are sensitive, and I don't want to step on anyone's toes. So when there's this kind of there's like a dynamic, right, where I feel like a woman will find a man, and if the man is not emotionally like neglectful or unavailable, and they're giving love freely, I feel like the woman will think, oh, if they're giving love freely, then that must mean it's not good, right? Like that must mean that there's something wrong. They want to have to work. They want to have to earn that sort of love, that sort of feeling. And this creates a sense of toxicity in the male energy too, where the men will act a certain way to get a response from the woman, right? So that creates a sense of like, um, it's like we're constantly playing games with each other and never really starting to approach life differently because we're playing these kind of mind games, right? So, and I'll get to this in here. I'm going to start shuffling the cards here though because the story is almost at an end, and the video I was talking about mentions that it is video is okay. Stay right here. Okay, don't go anywhere. I'm going to grab my phone. It's got the information on there. I know this probably isn't the very most professional tarot reader thing to do, but I want to give you some information if I can. I care about you guys. So give me just 1 second. Let me go grab my phone, get that info to you. And then I'll do your reading. So okay. I have got the phone here. And the video is called just 1 second. Okay, so the video is called Why Why you love jerks and unavailable men. Okay? And this is going to step into that kind of mentality of like what's going on with the programming sense. Nothing's wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. I don't want you to think that, because that's not at all what I'm saying. But there's been programming that has told us things are wrong with us. Yeah, and it creates a very difficult situation. And generally this happens because we don't love ourselves enough to focus on what would be right for us. For instance, I can never pronounce your name, and I don't know why. I'm horrible with names. Anyway, the one thing is, if you were in a situation and you saw your friend being bullied, right, by a male energy, more than likely, I feel like you would stand up for your friend, or you would see that that situation was wrong, right? You would be like, oh, that's not right. Pat. Okay, Pat. So, Pat, moving into that energy, you would say to your friend, like, or Petra, oh, okay. No, that's not your name. Oh, I'm messing up so much. Anyway, but you would see someone else having a difficult time, and because of that, you would say, oh, well, that's not right. I wouldn't let my friend go through that, to go through that kind of sensation. But we don't do that for ourselves. We let ourselves be treated a certain way, even though we wouldn't put up with it if our friends were being treated that same way. Mocha, okay. So Mocha, does that make sense? After I almost confused you for 3 different people? I mean, does that work? Or 2 different people, I guess. And that takes time. That takes a lot of time. And a lot of it is healing work. It's the journey to self-healing. And at first, you're going to feel very vulnerable, scared, afraid. But hopefully that's what this channel can help with. That's what I try to teach, self-love and healing on this channel, because that is such an important part of being in a relationship. It's, if we're talking about relationships, and we want to attract the right person, that soulmate person, or whatever you want to call it, we have to love ourselves first, so we know what that looks like. And we want to be able to look at what red flags look like in a person, right? And there's other videos I can give you there too. Lisa Romano talks about narcissists and healing and stuff like that. And a lot of men out there, I'm not trying to be negative or anything. A lot of men out there are narcissistic. So it makes it so it's hard to get in a relationship with these people, because they will blame shift, make you feel, they'll blame shift, gaslight, and gaslighting is where they make you feel crazy over something that they did. Like you try to call them out on something and they'll say, oh no, you did that, or something like that. Or stonewalling, where they just won't talk to you, like they're acting like children, because the narcissist is like a 3-year-old in a 30 or 40-year-old's body. I'm being absolutely serious. You call them out on stuff and they act like children, and not in a cute way, not in an innocent way, right? Okay, let's look at these cards though. So to answer your question, yeah, there you go. Yep, that's narcissistic. And that's the other thing that Petra just said right there, narcissistic and charming, because they are. Narcissists have this knack of just being able to come in and charm the pants off anyone. I don't mean to make that sound sexual or anything. I just mean they have this thing where they can charm anybody, and it doesn't matter. And other people will be like, what do you mean they're that way? They don't seem that way to me, and that's covert versus overt narcissism. There's things going on there too, but let me shuffle these once more. We'll get a little bit more insight. And then let's get these cards here, these energy cards, and let's shuffle these. And other people will try and make you feel crazy for things you did or didn't do or whatever. But that's where learning about the narcissist, because the thing that happens when you learn about narcissists is that you learn how to deal with them. and you learn what they look like, and you learn what that looks like, so that you're not caught off guard by it. And then we can attract ourselves into a relationship that not only do we respect ourselves, but the people respect us too, because we're attracting from a different level, right? So that's what we're focusing on. Anything, that's what I want this channel to be. It's tarot, it's psychic, mediumship, whatever, but it's also healing from narcissistic energy. It's trying to find the right way to learn to express ourselves, because I wasn't given this knowledge when I was younger. And I've had narcissistic people in my life. I've had to heal. And boy, would it have been helpful to have something when I was going through it in the moment. Luckily, I had a partner who was kind and understanding, but it's just hard. It's hard to go through. And if I can help you guys, that's what I want to do. So let me shuffle these cards here. Hopefully that's all making sense, Mocha. Shuffle. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really, really do. Okay. Let's let me position myself here. Stretch a little bit. Oh, okay. All right. Let's answer here. And by the way, the donation, super awesome. Thank you again for that. This is crazy. Okay, I'm going to show you the cards. I'm going to show you the cards, but to me, it's a little mind-blowing because this is interesting stuff. So let's move this up. Let's move this up. Let's move this up. Okay. I got 3 cards just in case you were wondering. And I will show you. But I got to be real mysterious here for just a minute. Just a minute. Ooh. Okay, getting a download of information here, and I will tell you it all. First card I get is this. We get the Son of Wands in reverse. We get the Lovers in reverse. Then we get the 6 of Cups in reverse. So, here's what the tarot has to say about your situation. The reason why we're attracting men that are unavailable, the Son of Wands in reverse. This right here is unavailable male energy. Not only is it unavailable, it's basically toxic or player kind of energy, right? That's what this is. And this could be a fire sign, sure. It could be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. But more importantly, this is like the player sign. This is someone who just kind of does what they want to do. They don't care. And the reason we're attracting this into our lives is because the Lovers is in reverse, right? I feel like we've been told what love is and what love isn't by outside sources, but we haven't gone back into ourselves and looked at what's going on within ourselves to find out what love actually is, to find out what being treated right actually is. We grew up, right, and correct me if I'm wrong, but we grew up in a day and age of romanticism, of the one being there, and all of that kind of energy where we had to sort of submit ourselves to the one, and we had to be submissive, and we had to be this perfect person for this other person, right? We had to be this perfect angel. We couldn't say what was on our mind. We didn't want to stress them out. So we attract these people that will have us be submissive, that will have us be less than, and that will have us feel like they're more important than us. And the reason why is because in our childhood, there was something that wasn't healed. This could be maybe our fathers were a certain way towards us. Maybe they showed love in a way that wasn't necessarily ideal. But this to me is having a sense of like not being enough, or feeling like maybe if it wasn't the fathers, it could have been society that was telling us, you need to do this to get a man, or you need to do this to be in love, or you need to do that. And all of these things, like it or not, the Disney movies, the Hallmark movies, all of that stuff set up to a toxic level of romanticism, because it sets an unrealistic standard in relationships that people don't have, even if they're together for 50 years. The mind reading mentality of being able to read the mind of the partner, handing them a tissue, 20 seconds before they sneeze, that kind of mind reading energy, which just drives us crazy. We're trying to find that match, and that doesn't exist. right? It's just us sort of floundering there, but it's ultimately that journey of self-love. And again, it's healing the past. When I see the Six of Cups upright, it's childhood energy. It's things that happened in the childhood. When I see it this way, okay, we're exposing the roots. You see how colorful these are? This is actually still a good card if it's like this, because it means that we're getting to the root of the problem. Do you see that? It means we're focusing on the root of the problem, the root of the issue, and because of that, there will be some healing. Okay. Now, tell me, Mocha, does that make sense so far? Just don't want to keep ranting and raving. Because I've got the other part of this reading too, I'll share with you, but I just want to get that part out first. And I mean, looking into this is something that we definitely need to do more often. And it's hard to keep looking into it. I know it is. It's like staring at a flesh wound. After a while you're like, oh, this isn't fun to look at. But it's important to see that there's a wound there in the first place and not ignore it, because if we ignore it, we're going to keep heading into relationships, a relationship after a relationship that isn't fulfilling, right? And self-work is it's difficult because a lot of people want. Hi, Nessie. A lot of people want to be able to just get the perfect situation, the perfect relationship, whatever it happens to be. But a lot more people, I feel like, aren't willing to put in the work. They want kind of a quick fix. And self love is something that takes time to build up, but that's the ultimate fix for all of this. And establishing boundaries and learning as much about it as you can. I mean, take like 10 minutes or 5 minutes a day, watch a short video on it. See, that's good. That's really good that you came to terms with that, because a lot of people, in my opinion, a lot of people don't do that until they're forced to. Yes, absolutely. Be alone to work on you. And that's actually a very responsible thing to do, because it makes it so that when you go back out there, you're no longer putting an energy on someone else to fulfill you. You're fulfilling yourself. You're a cup that runneth over, kind of an energy, where you're focusing on taking that energy, putting it into yourself, and evolving yourself further. And because of that, there's going to be a huge leap in evolution. And to stay on the right path, again, learning about narcissism. In my mind, the way I work is I kind of need to know what the opposites of the extremes are, right? So you have a narcissist, you have an empath. And then once I know the extremes of the situation, I can work towards becoming in the middle, in there somewhere, where the empath that has set boundaries is actually very, very powerful, because you're no longer allowing someone else to rule over your energy for any reason. And to me, obviously that's huge. So hopefully that helped answer your question here. Because I also got, I get man holding a coin in reverse. I get first chakra archangel, and to me, this is putting someone above ourselves. That's not right. Maybe men feel like they're more powerful, or they have fragile egos, and we have to raise them up. We have to constantly pick them up, because, they're called. Oh no, what I was going to say doesn't exactly apply. It's like they're called Okay, calm myself. They're called man-child, right? And I feel like we constantly have to lift up this energy, and we constantly have to do that, and then in return we're slapped for it, or we're told we're talking too much, or I don't want to work on that, or I don't want to do that. And that to me doesn't seem fair, right? You're putting in effort, you're putting in energy. So now we're coming back into like a hermit state. We're focusing on healing the self. And when we put ourselves back out there, we'll know what that looks like. If we're talking to someone, if we're on a date, we're talking to someone, we'll know the red flags to look for. Do they look you in the eye when they talk to you? Are they, are they showing signs of emotional manipulation or abuse? Are they making you feel bad about something that has nothing to do with the situation? Are they someone who holds things in their mind like a point system? Like are they people that are vindictive or mean? And as we move forward, we won't attract those people. Like we'll still attract them, sure, but we'll be able to spot them a mile away, and we'll be like, no, I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. But that gives us the tools to be able to actually find the partner we want. And instead of stumbling in the dark and thinking, boy, everyone else must have been lucky to find someone they loved and they cherished, you can be that person too. Because it's not about luck. It's about putting in the work, and it's about being aware of the environment and the situation, right? So again, hopefully that helps. And again, thank you so much for the donation. The donations help so much. Yes, absolutely. It's time to heal you. And like I said, the video again is so it's Why You Love Jerks and Unavailable Men right there. And that is such a good I appreciate that, because someone's talking about something in a way that is good. And yes, it's a man talking about the patriarchy. I get that. I get where there's ironic stuff there. But it's really good because it talks about the point of view of the patriarchy. And that's the other thing, is that women have so much more emotional maturity than men in a lot of ways, and so that makes it so the woman in some ways will teach the man how to be emotional. I know that happened with me in 5D. Pixie, who's been on here a couple times, if you guys remember. But she's taught me so much about myself, and now over the past few years I've been listening to her more and more to help me grow and become a better person. And but that's the thing, the person has to want to grow and become a better person. If you're talking to them and they want the help, give it to them, give them the help. But if you're trying to help someone and their ego and their pride gets in the way, then just leave it alone. It's up to them if they want to change in that situation. And yeah. Okay. So do we have any other questions coming in? And again, thank you so much for the donation. The donations keep the channel alive. So that's... Oh, you're back, Petra. Good. But yeah, the donations help keep the channel alive, help me keep doing what I'm doing. So really appreciate anything given there. And we can also work... I do readings on my website too. If you want to do something a little more private, we can do some like energy healing too, if that's something you're into. But I'm just giving you options. In no way, shape, or form you have to take that. Just giving people a space to feel that they can be heard and feel validated, because that's, to me, that's an important part of healing in the current day and age, right? Okay, let's shuffle these some more here. Do this one more time. Any questions from anybody? Let's do one more shuffle here. I could teach it. I'm technically a master, but I don't. How would I put this? I feel like using my guides to do energy healing for me personally is more effective than Reiki. I feel like with Reiki, I have to hold the intention and then it goes to the person, and I'm working with my finite energy. But when I do mediumship healing, I find that my guides hold the energy and they do what they need to do, and I don't have to focus on anything. But that being said, I'm in a place where I'm trying to learn how to let go of control. I want my mediumship to deepen. I want to let go of control so that I can understand the inner workings of the spirit world better. So I'm in a place where I let them do the work, if that makes sense. I hold the space, I hold the energy, but I don't do anything with it. It's like I'm a cup, I'm a jar, and no, I don't know where I was going with that, but it's kind of like I'm a vessel, I guess, and I'm just letting the energy work through me however it can, and I'm learning how to trust in that, which is um, sometimes very challenging. So I could teach the very fundamentals of Reiki, but I don't think I would do it justice, if that makes sense, Denise. But I appreciate the question, though. Well, I appreciate the question, and maybe one day I'll do that. I don't know. I've used it before and it's worked. Reiki has always been something that is helpful, but um, I guess it just depends. I'm trying to find my own path and trying to stay away from any um, like more rigid teachings. And I feel like Reiki has teachings, a lot of teachings, and a lot of limitations in certain areas. Of course, that's for me. Anyone is you can choose whatever you want to do, but for me, it feels like there's limitations based on it, and um, at this point in time, it's not for me. Nothing wrong if that's your cup of tea, man. Reiki healers can do some amazing stuff. So I'm not saying anything against it, just saying my opinion on it. Okay. Let me shuffle a couple more times here. Generally speaking, Petra, I don't. I feel more than anything. Like I'm not gonna come up to you on the street and say, "Oh, you're looking awful blue today, or pink, or yellow." I don't see auras. I believe they are there for sure. I just don't see them like that. It's incredibly, incredibly rare for me to see an aura. Maybe I can develop that over time, but as for right now, no, I don't. I feel if that's something I want to do, I can feel the person, but I can't like see the colors. And some people can do that really easy. That's just not something I can do very easily. Is the seeing part. But that's another one of the psychic abilities. That's clairvoyance, and then there's all the other clairs too. So there we go. Yeah. So that's clairsentience, the feeling of the aura, the feeling of the emotion, right? And that's a very powerful. To me, that's a very powerful way to be in the aura sense. Like I do some artwork. I work with colors, but to me, the feeling says so much more than the colors would, right? Like at this point in time, I would rather feel than see the colors. Seeing them would be amazing, sure, but at the same time, it's like from what I can feel, I already can get quite a bit of information. If I can deepen that in the future, awesome. But um, I feel like that would be me or anyone else. I feel like deepening that would go from feeling to maybe being able to tune into the person's aura, feel something, and maybe I smell something, or maybe I taste something, or maybe I hear something instead. Seeing to me doesn't necessarily mean that much in that way. So yeah, it's but each person develops differently. Some people will be able to see auras and have seen auras since the day they were born. I don't doubt that at all. And anyone can develop it, I think. But some people are going to be a little more naturally gifted at it. But through perseverance, you can be gifted at it. Just the naturally gifted at it are more adept at it. But I've known a lot of, I haven't known a lot of people. I'm a hermit. Okay, so I don't know a lot of people, nor have I known a lot of people. But I know of people that have said that they've seen psychics and mediums develop. The ones that had no gift at first, they've seen those people develop past people that did have a gift. Because the people that don't have a gift work harder to develop it, and the people that already have it are comfortable with what they already have and kind of become rigid in how they are. And I was a very, very mundane psychic. I had an awakening out of nowhere, nothing triggered it. I didn't see spirits when I was little. Um, so that's kind of the energy that I had growing up, and I don't think people have those super fantastical experiences. A lot of the psychic world is incredibly mundane, but there's a lot of beauty in the mundane. There's a lot of beauty in the everyday because that's where we live, is every day. We don't live in the tiny moments that happen. We live every day in those, those kinds of moments. And yeah, Denise, hermits, yeah. Call me Kermit the Hermit. That's what I am. That's why I like reaching out and doing these kinds of videos, because I can talk to people and not feel overwhelmed by the energy. I can tune into you guys and I can kind of pick up on that, because being a psychic can make you very sensitive to energy, and I wouldn't want to trade the sensitivity for anything, but it becomes very difficult in certain situations, and I'm trying to overcome those situations. So, yeah. Any other questions? Oh, I got the Kermit the Hermit thing from Petra. We have an emoji. Yeah, but if there's any other questions, we can address those. If not, any tips, donations would be very, very much appreciated. We can go into questions if that's something anyone else is wanting to do. I can just continue to draw cards here for a little bit longer. Let's do this. Okay. You shuffle the energy cards here. Definitely the study of knowledge. Because that's where I was at before Mocha came in. Old knowledge, occult knowledge. And occult just means hidden. It doesn't mean, I mean, you guys probably know that already. It doesn't mean evil, or it doesn't mean anything else. It just means it's hidden knowledge, initiated knowledge, symbolic knowledge. And when I'm looking at the cards, that's what I'm seeing is the symbols. Sometimes it's psychic, but mostly it's the symbols on the cards, right? If I'm doing one-on-one readings, I can dive more into it, like when people pay, and I can go more into the reading. But if I'm doing it where it's kind of a shotgun approach, where I'm doing the energy reading for the day, that's not going to generally be too specific. I'll get specifics here and there, but it's not generally too specific. Okay. So I shuffled those, but I'm going to see if I can get anything coming in spiritually, and then I'll look at the cards again. So, so one thing I'm getting here is I get a sense of a possible Libra coming in, kind of a unifying force, which is really weird to say, but I feel like I'm seeing pieces of a puzzle come together. I feel there's a Libra. I feel there's something going on with combining different different things. It felt like a zodiac thing too, where I'm like combining. Maybe I'm learning the astrology, and Libra comes in, or maybe I'm learning how to balance um, my energy. That could also be something else as well. And I'm talking in third person because I'm channeling other energy. So I'm not talking about myself. It sounds like I am, but I'm channeling other energy. So that's why I'm saying it. And if I say it with a question mark, it's because I'm wondering about it. Um, I see there's something going on. This to me feels like an individualistic expression of the self. I feel like we're breaking out of the cookie cutter mold, would be something that I'm seeing. I feel there's a sense of pride from feeling different, and that's a good thing. The pride is good. We don't want it to be too strong, though, or else that can become something that's negative and hinders us. But a little bit of pride is good. Having pride in ourselves, being proud of our work is good. Thinking that our work is the only thing that matters and that other people working on the same thing are doing it wrong, though, necessarily doesn't help us grow, right? So there needs to be some humility there, but I'm feeling like um, becoming more of a strong person, a strong figure in maybe a community. I could see that. It's like a community setting. Let me see what else I can get, if there's anything specific kind of in the message. Okay, so Spirit's here for this one a little bit. I'm feeling like we've been given something that is very precious from someone else. I saw it as like a baby, like a human baby, but I also see it as us becoming something more than what we ever have been. And to me, this is an evolution. It could be becoming a mother. It could be taking possession or charge of something that is very important or precious to someone else. But I saw it first as like an animal taking care of its baby, and then I saw it as a bird. Um, and I don't know if anyone has adopted a bird. I mean, that would be a clear comparison, but I feel like we're just being given something that is very precious, and we can do some really good things with it. And I'll get a little more information there too. Let me see. To me, it honestly feels like a business or a building, and I'm being given the keys. I'm being given something to run it, or to maybe there's a promotion, someone trusting us with something, but I feel like I'm being given the keys to what they would refer to as baby, or given the keys to something that is a very powerful kind of has a life of its own kind of energy. And again, it could be a child, but to me that feels like something we're working towards there. So um, yeah, don't know if that resonates right now. Someone might watch this maybe a year from now, maybe tomorrow. I don't know, but someone might watch this and get something out of it. So I'm putting it out there. But thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys next week. If you guys want to do a reading with me, you absolutely can. You can visit the link down below. We can do that. Um, and with that being said, I will see you guys next Monday. So take care, have an awesome weekend, and I will talk to you guys later, okay? Let's get this out here. Oh, I just don't want to leave. If there's people that want to say bye, I don't just want to leave. Okay. You have a great weekend too, Denise. And with that, well, I'll put the cards away here. this. All right, guys. I will talk to you next week. Toodles.